1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Barcelona's pre-season training is in full swing, and Hansi Flick has already started to work his magic. All the Barca players look like beasts, and all the expectations of the Barca fans are being met. The Catalan club has not had such a pre-season for many years. What exactly is the German supercoach cooking, and why Barcelona's rivals have to start getting tense? We'll tell you right now. Let's go! Last Friday, July 19th, Hansi Flick held his first opening training in charge of Barcelona, and therefore, journalists from various media were finally able to see with their own eyes all the changes that the German coach is implementing at the Catalan club. The journalists were allowed for 30 minutes, but they managed to reveal plenty of interesting information. Spoiler: Barcelona have changed beyond recognition. No more games with Flick, as journalist Javi Miguel declares in his article. The first thing Hans-Dieter did was destroy Xavi's legacy. Now, there are no warm-up games before training, which the former Barca coach loved so much. No games, just work from the first minute. Now dominates the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper. The new coach pays special attention to the team's physical training. He has surrounded himself with 4 highly skilled professionals: Julio Tous, Pepe Conde, Rafa Maldonado, and Herman Fernandez, who are responsible for this particular area. A lot of rubber bands, a lot of work in pairs, trios, or groups of 4 players. This is how the general process of physical training is described, and the variety of exercises is really impressive. Game drills plus muscle building, that's how it works. All physical tasks are done with the ball. These exercises are closely related to the ball handling, so as not to forget the feeling of a touch, says journalist Sergi Capdevila. The players are happy with the level of workload during training, and they note that the scope of physical exercises is higher than it was during previous preseason training camp. "Go, go, go" are probably the most frequent calls heard on the Tito Vilanova pitch, which indicates the high intensity of the training exercises and the overall workflow. This is exactly what Laporta and the Barcelona board of directors want based on last season's performance. It was the lack of physical condition that prevented Barca from competing with Real Madrid in La Liga and the Champions League. So, Hansi Flick and his coaching staff of 14 professionals plus Thiago Alcantara are moving in the right direction. Hansi Flick is a methodical and hardworking person. There are no compromises to leisure on the football pitch anymore, Javi Miguel says. But at the same time, the atmosphere at the trainings is fantastic, and the new coach is a key factor in this. Despite his language problems, Flick's Spanish is still poor, he was very communicative and attentive to his players. He did not miss anything during the session, personally supervised all the exercises, and Marcus Sork, one of his assistants, was his squire. Thiago Alcantara, who recently joined Barcelona, serves as a translator of Flick's ideas and may leave the club for a while when the official season begins. For now, his task is to translate the head coach's ideas, while Hans-Dieter is improving his Spanish. Sport as journalist Sergi Capdevila also notes Flick's closeness to the team. Group unity during any exercise is one of the main factors of successful work according to the coach's methodology. Relevo journalist Jordi Cardero, who also attended this training, collected even more information. It turns out that Hansi Flick has gone much further in team discipline than it was under Xavi. Now the players train twice a day. The first training session starts at 9:30 and they arrive at the training base no later than 8 a.m. The coach used to schedule training sessions at 10, but the sweltering heat made its own adjustments. One of the covers on Barca's YouTube channel tells us exactly what this means. By the way, Flick already had to cancel the training because of the heat. The first day's training was cancelled due to temperatures exceeding 30 degrees. Both the morning and the evening ones. Now, during morning trainings, the temperature averages 25 to 28 degrees. But let's get back to the Catalan's work days. The second training session starts at 6:30 p.m. local time, so the players arrive no later than 5 p.m. It's during the evening training that matches in 8 versus 8 and 9 versus 9 formats are played. Interestingly, the club's nutritionist Silvia Tremoleda is always present at the training sessions. However, what does not change is the traditional rondo. Coaches come and go, but rondo remains. There are some things that never change, Jordi Cardero says. Other innovations include the rule of coexistence, which is based not only on joint training on the football pitch, but also on spending time after training. If the training session is at 9:30 a.m., the group has breakfast beforehand and then stays at the facilities and has lunch together. And if it's a double training session, the staff spends almost the entire day at the base. Training, lunch, snack, exercise, and dinner. This approach was also not used during previous preseasons. Other noteworthy insights include the fact that 20-year-old Senegalese defender Mikhail Faye is training with the first team. On Friday, Flick divided the players into 3 groups. In one of them were the first-team players Ansu Fati, Balde, Inigo Martinez, Oriol Romeo, Julian Araujo, Iñaki Peña, Langley, and a surprise Mika Faye. However, Vitor Roque was in the rondo with the reserve and youth teams players, which most likely means that the striker will be looking for a new team for the 2024-25 season at the very least. Hansi Flick and his coaching team are especially focused on young players, and there was some information that the German coach was impressed by the level of Noah Darwich, Mikhail Faye, Marc Casado, Marc Bernal, and the Fernandez brothers, Guille and Tony. The German coach also gave his first interview to Barca 1 Club Television, where he spoke about how he sees the team and the club. We always want to play. We always want to be active. It's very important to act when we have the ball, act without the ball, or with the ball. Flick also clearly understands how to put pressure on opponents, and his team will be ready to press their rivals for the full 90-plus minutes. We want to push the opponents in the right direction, where we want them to be so we can win the ball. Positioning of the players will be even higher than usual. The defense will be positioned where the midfield used to be in order to suffocate the opponents. When the team takes the ball away, the trio that will be responsible for the magic in the attack will be the following, according to the coach's plan: Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, Nico Williams, with Robert Lewandowski as a target man. Everyone should feel free with the ball and give their best, Flick says. But this does not mean that the attack will not defend. Literally everyone will work like crazy, and that is why the main emphasis in preparation for the season is on fitness. According to Sport as journalist Jordi Hill, Hansi Flick plans to use the Bayern Sextet formula in Barcelona. The new Barca coach notes how much the club inspires him for achievements, and Culés have every reason to expect a very encouraging season. I felt the passion at Barca from the beginning, from the fans, and from the president. Everyone who works at the club has this passion to work selflessly for the good of the club. For me and the coaching staff, we want to be part of this passion and dedication to work, because we want to provide the best for this club and take it to the next level. Take it to the next level. Remember these words, Culés. Next season, we'll have a lot of fun and excitement. Friends, what are your impressions of Hansi Flick's first training sessions, and what are your expectations for the new season? Write your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you found it interesting, and subscribe to our channel. We also suggest watching a video on how Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal will be destroying Real Madrid next season. Stay tuned and enjoy the video.